Hello, everyone. We are going to start in a few minutes. Thank you for joining us. Hello again. It's great to see so many people that are joining. Meanwhile, while we're waiting to the last one, please feel free to share your questions in the Q&A window. Tell us which stocks do you think is the most interesting one for February, actually. Okay. So far we have Plantier, we have Broadcom, AVGO, other names that I see here, 3M. Interesting tickers.
Yep. Palantir's earnings tomorrow night. It's going to be very interesting.
Actually, we are going to talk about Plantier in the webinar today. So stay tuned. And I see another interesting question. We're going to address this question during the webinar. Oh, interesting names, Miles. Actually, very interesting names. Yeah, feel free to share more tickers in the Q&A. Tell us which stocks do you think that are the most relevant for the upcoming month, for February 2025. We will try to analyze and to discuss those stocks in the webinar. Yeah, we're going to talk about ETFs as well. I see questions about that. In this webinar, we're going to talk about ETFs, leading sectors for the upcoming months, which time frame you should use. RTX, okay. Interesting names. Okay. So thank you for joining us this Sunday. Today we have a super interesting webinar. Ben Rubin is sick, so he's not joining us, but we have a new star that's coming from the bench. Please meet Miles.
Hi
Miles,
guys, it's a pleasure to be here.
it's great to have you here, Miles. Thank you for joining us. Miles is a financial analyst in I Know First. You may met him in our YouTube channel. We are going to talk about that as well. Mike, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Let's start with the disclaimer.
Yeah, so I Know First daily market forecast does not provide personal investment or financial advice to individuals or act as personal financial, legal, or institutional investment advisors or individually advocate the purchase or sale of any security or investment or the use of any particular financial strategy. All investing stock forecasts and investment strategies include the risk of loss for some or even all of your capital. Before pursuing any financial strategies discussed on this website, you should always consult a licensed financial advisor. I think we can get started.
Okay, thank you very much. What do you think about the trade, about the Luka trade?
About
the trade, the trade that Mavs did with the Lakers.
Oh yeah, it's a very interesting trade. I think long term it should be good for the Lakers.
Okay. Okay, I agree with you. I have to agree with you.
Of course.
Okay, let's start. Let's start with the webinar. So I'm going to introduce I Know First really quickly, and then we are going to drill down into the market to analyze the leading sectors, the leading stocks, to share some recent forecasts. It's super important for me to highlight that we're going to discuss many stocks, equities, ETFs in this webinar. However, it's not an advice. You should utilize the most updated forecast whenever you're taking a market decision, and we will help you in this webinar to we provide insights how to use the AI algorithm in order to capture the opportunities on a daily basis. So don't use it as a trading advice, just use it as a recommendation of how to use the AI algorithm in the best way. I Know First, we are AI company. Our main solution is a predictive algorithm that generates daily forecast for the financial market and identifies the most promising investment opportunities on a daily basis. We are utilizing artificial intelligence. More specifically, we are using deep learning, artificial neural networks, genetic algorithms to predict the financial markets. Our predictive algorithm is generating daily forecasts for over 13,500 assets from different asset classes: equities, ETFs, commodities, currencies, cryptocurrencies, interest rates, indices, with daily forecasts for multiple timeframes, short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. This is a global solution. We are covering over 50 global stock exchanges, including the stock exchanges in the US, Canada, Europe, Asia, including China, Japan, India, and more. And if we jump into some recent example from Friday, this is the forecast that our AI algorithm was generating on Friday. It was sent to our clients before the market opening on Friday. It's part of the highest implied volatility stock picks. And we can see here stocks that actually moved against the market. The market was negative on Friday, and the AI algorithm identified those opportunities as opportunities that are supposed to go up. We can find here, of course, RGTI, the quantum stock. We can find here REKR. We can find here KOPN, BBAI. And those stocks actually outperformed the market on Friday. On the other hand, the algorithm had actually bearish forecast for NKLA, and we can see that in accordance with the forecast, NKLA dropped by more than 2%. This is just a quick illustration of the daily forecast that our AI algorithm is generating. In the webinar, we're going to share some recent predictions and live predictions in the very same way. This is just one time frame, the 1 month time frame. We are going to talk about the different time frames in this webinar, and we are going to assist you to utilize the different indicators that the AI algorithm is generating on a daily basis with the daily forecast. So this is one live example. And if we're going back to the I Know First team, the I Know First predictive algorithm was developed by our unique R&D team that's being led by Dr. Lipa Reutemann, our co-founder, expert in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning, chaos theory with over 20 years of experience. He got his PhD from the Weizmann Institute of Science, and is expert in the field of artificial intelligence. He's leading our unique R&D team that basically includes PhDs, AI and machine learning experts. We have math professor from Tel Aviv University, as well as employees with the background of data science, math, statistics, computer science, of course, and also IDF veterans, specifically from the intelligence unit. My name is Yaron Golger. I'm the CEO and co-founder of I Know First. I'm also the chairman of the Israeli FinTech board in the Israeli Export Institute. I'm lecturing at one of the leading universities here in Israel. I'm an engineer with an MBA. You met already Ben, our head of advisory, that's leading our connections to institutionals. Ben used to work for one of the leading banks in Israel, Bank Hapoalim. The I Know First predictive algorithm is being trusted by the world's leading hedge funds, banks, investment houses, family offices, as well as brokerage firms, and also retail investors from all over the world that's utilizing the predictive algorithm in order to identify opportunities in the market on a daily basis. In this list, you can find leading banks, leading hedge funds, and also leading investment houses. With two of them, we are launching right now different AI power products. With Meitav Investment House, we have launched the first AI power mutual fund. It's being listed in the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. It's available in the market here. And we are now in the process of developing and launching additional products that are utilizing our AI algorithm. We are going to talk about that in the webinar as well. The solution that you're about to see has received several awards from different entities from all over the world: Entity Data in Japan, UBS, the Geneva Wealth Tech Forum. And here you can see some also very, very good friend of mine. No, I'm joking, Miles. He's not a friend of mine, but we met with him. And we are really proud to also to cooperate with one of the leading university in Israel. We are lecturing them. We are lecturing about artificial intelligence, about fintech, about different aspects of fintech that are related to AI. And in the website, you can also find several media coverages about the I Know First algorithm. You can find it also in our YouTube channel that is also includes different reports about the algorithm. In the website, you also can find different reviews that can help you to identify the package that is relevant for you guys. Miles, please.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't already in our WhatsApp community, we have a WhatsApp community where we share live updates. We give you guys a lot more content. We give you guys live forecasts, and on your screen, you have the QR code to join. And you guys really should join, because tonight after the webinar, we're going to be sending our Mag 7 forecast. So you guys really don't want to miss it. So scan the QR code and join our WhatsApp community.
Okay. Thank you very much. And yeah, please.
And we also have our I Know First YouTube channel. Here, again, you could scan the QR code to go subscribe to our channel, and we give you more livestock forecasts. And additionally, we give you guys weekly market reviews where we explain how the markets are doing and what are some big trends that are going on. So yeah.
Thank you. So you can just use your mobile phone to scan the QR code that you can find here. You will join automatically to our WhatsApp group. And of course, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mike is managing our YouTube channel, and there is very, very interesting content there. I can promise that, and some surprises as well. Right, Miles?
Yep, a lot of good surprises there.
Okay. Okay, so basically, we are offering two products to our clients. On one hand, it's possible to utilize the predictive algorithm on a daily basis to identify opportunities in the market by using the daily forecast that our algorithm is generating. Basically, to use the predictive algorithm as a decision supporting tool that assisting you to identify the best opportunities in the investment universes that are relevant to you, basically. So this is the first solution that we are offering. We are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about this solution in the first part of the webinar. And on top of that, we have developed several systematic trading strategies. The idea here is to convert the daily prediction into a portfolio, basically, and to develop AI-powered financial products. So we have recently launched the first AI-powered mutual fund that is being listed in the Tariffs stock exchange, and right now we are doing the very same process in the different regions across the globe. And we are going to share with you several systematic strategies in the second part of this webinar. On the last part of this webinar, we are also going to talk about the upcoming month, about the opportunities that we see for February, the forecast that we see for February. And as Miles says, we are going to share also some of the forecast in our WhatsApp group. So feel free to join to our WhatsApp group. So the INO-first predictive algorithm includes three components. The first component is assisting you to identify the most promising investment opportunities across in the market. It could be in the S&P 500 universe, it could be in the Russell 1000 universe, Russell 2000 universe, or you can customize it based on specific region or based on specific sector. The second component, besides the opportunities that the algorithm is basically generating on a daily basis, it's possible to use the algorithm in order to receive stock market intelligence, to identify leading sectors, to identify the direction of the main indices, the forecast, the S&P 500 forecast, the Nasdaq forecast, the Dow Jones forecast. And it's also possible to use this component in order to identify emerging regions from all over the world, and also sectors and regions and indices that we should avoid in the market today. The third component is a customized solution. Basically, we are providing to each client a customized prediction based on each client portfolio. So basically, we are training our forecast based on each client portfolio, and by using this entire solution, the three components, it's possible on one hand to identify opportunities, to receive stock market intelligence, to focus on the leading sectors, and also to receive a daily forecast to our existing portfolio. So how we do it? Our AI algorithm is utilizing quantitative data sets that are coming from the entire financial market, data that's coming from the interest rate environment, data that's coming from the different equities, stock markets that we are tracking, the commodities market, the currencies market, even the cryptocurrencies market. We are adding the daily data to our stocks database. We are managing database with historical data. And from that stage, without any human intervention, the AI algorithm is building the complex networks that exist in the financial market. There are thousands of correlation sets in the financial markets, and the AI algorithm is able to model those and to build this network from scratch on a daily basis without any human intervention. Before it's trading day, the AI algorithm is generating the most updated forecast for the different time frames, for the short term, for the midterm, and also for the long term. There is also a feedback loop here. The AI algorithm is also learning from each forecast, from each successful forecast, from each failure. It's part of the input that we are utilizing in order to generate the daily forecast. In terms of the technology, we are combining different AI approaches into one AI algorithm. We are utilizing deep learning, artificial neural network, genetic algorithms, reinforcement learning, in order to separate and to focus on the most predictable assets in the market. So on a daily basis, if we're taking the Russell 1000 or the S&P 500 as an example, the algorithm is identifying which assets from the S&P 500, which stocks are the most predictable ones, is filtering out the stocks that are less predictable. And we are going to show you in this webinar how you can also focus on the most predictable assets on a daily basis. It's one of the most important indicators that the AI algorithm is basically generating on a daily basis. So in terms of the stock picking process, we are screening the entire US stock market. We are applying our unique technology in order to identify the most predictable stocks. And then we're creating a ranking in order to identify the best stocks for each time frame, for the short term, midterm, and also long term. And this process is done on a daily basis. So every day, when you turning on your computer, your laptop or PC in the morning, you're basically receiving a fresh and updated heat map with the best opportunities for the upcoming time frames for the short term, for the midterm, and also for the long term. This is an example how the heat map is basically looks. The green cells represent assets with positive forecast. The red cells are representing assets with negative forecast. And you can find here two indicators that the algorithm is basically calculating and generating on a daily basis for each time frame. The first one called the signal. The signal represents the expected movement of each asset. It could be a positive movement or it could be a negative movement. And the second indicator called the predictability. This is the historical correlation between the past prediction and the actual market movements. The predictability ranges between -1 and 1, and the higher it gets, it means that the asset is more predictable. We are applying several filters in order to focus on the most predictable assets, but always please utilize the predictability and analyze the predictability of each forecast that you are receiving. Don't worry, we're going to show you a lot of examples, and we are going to assist you to how to basically use this indicator in the best way. But we can see that sometimes the algorithm is identifying opportunities for long. There are some opportunities for short. We are going to discuss it as well in the webinar. So every day you are receiving an heat map, basically 6 heat maps for each time frames. For the short term, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 1 month, 3 months, and also 1 year. And as you can see in this example, one thing that I would like to highlight is that the long-term predictions, the prediction for the 1 month, 3 months, and 1 year have higher predictability. If you're analyzing the predictability that you can find at the bottom of each cell, you can see that the longer time frames have higher predictability than the shorter ones. Just compare the numbers that you see here with the numbers that you see here. Therefore, we do suggest to utilize the long-term predictions when you're using the predictive algorithm. Even if you're using the predictive algorithm for short-term trading, always make sure that the asset is predictable. and make sure that the direction is actually aligned in the different time frames that you are receiving. So this is the first tip for today. So you're going to receive 6 time frames of your preferred investment universe, the investment universe that you are going to choose, with the best opportunities for each time frame, basically, in the very same way as you can see it here. So yeah, if we're jumping for some opportunities for the recent week, Miles, please tell us, what do we see here?
Yeah, so here we have a 3-day time frame on, it was updated on January 27th, and we could see stocks like Palantir up 2.84%. We have Capital One Financials, you have General Electric also up 4.5%. And at the bottom, you can see Meta. Meta was up 6.10%. And actually on our YouTube channel, a day before, on January 26th, we gave a Meta forecast. And actually the next day was when January 27th was when the DeepSeek news came out and the market tanked. But actually Meta was positive. Meta actually went up 1.95% the next day. And so here you could see just the algorithm giving you guys the best forecasts. And so you could see in these 3 days, the S&P was down -0.5%. And while the annual first average return was positive 1.23%.
Yeah, outperformance of almost more than 1.5% outperformance versus the benchmark versus the S&P itself. This investment universe includes S&P 500 forecast. So basically, we managed to build a portfolio from the S&P that is outperforming the S&P. But this is a simple use case of using a short-term prediction, a short-term forecast, and to build a portfolio based on those forecast equally weighted portfolio, as you can see here. And yes, Meta was a very interesting opportunity. By the way, we chose Meta to do a video about Meta because we saw the high long-term predictability of Meta. So it's a perfect example. Always when you're choosing, even if you're choosing a short-term stock, always check and make sure that the stock is predictable, that the predictability is high, basically. And here we jump into the next time frame, the 7 days forecast. As we can see here, the 10 stocks that the algorithm identified in one of our packages for the 7 days time frame. Again, we can see the outperformance versus the S&P 500. Take a look at the predictability, the number that you see in the bottom. As said, it ranges between -1 and 1. 0 is around, if I'm simplifying it, 0 is around 50%. So everything that above 0 is something that you're going to basically receive in the forecast. So this is the 7 days time frame. Interesting to see CVS here. And this is a 14 days forecast that was generating on January 16th, the 10 stock that the algorithm identified.
And also in this forecast, you can see stocks like Citi, you could see JPM, you see some of these banking stocks, and the banking sector has been doing pretty well recently, and our AI algorithm is picking up on that. So it's giving you some picks from the banking sector.
Exactly. It's interesting to see also Logi here that made a very nice performance. This is an example of our dividend stocks package. So it's really interesting again to see the outperformance. And this is an example of our 1 month forecast, 1 month top 10 forecast. This forecast includes not only the 10 stocks to buy, the 10 opportunities, it includes also a daily S&P 500 forecast. And in this case, we can see the 10 stocks that the algorithm identified basically 1 month ago, by the end of December 2024. Time is flying. We are already after 1 month. We are already in February 2025. We can see here the 10 stocks. Among the stocks, we can find here TWLO. Mike is going to talk about TWO later on. We can see here also Logi again. We can see HIT. We can see Zillow. We can see Google that made very nice return at the beginning of the year so far. And the overall performance is like 12 times higher than the benchmark, the market. And of course, the S&P 500 forecast is also positive for this time frame. So it's a very good, and basically it's one of the most popular packages that we do have. So I believe that a lot of the people that are in this webinar today are receiving those opportunities on a daily basis. So this is the opportunity from the 13th of December. And another exciting prediction is the 3-month one, right, Miles?
Yeah, so on the 3-month time frame, we see an amazing forecast. I mean, the annual first average return was almost 49%, while the S&P 500 went up 3.90%. And we have stocks like Shopify, Palantir, Robinhood. But what's very interesting is that we have a lot of AI. We have a lot of AI software companies like Shopify, Palantir, Robinhood, DocuSign, TWLO, and these AI software companies are taking the market by storm. And so we see a lot of the same type of companies in the same forecast, and all of them outperformed by a lot.
Right. So we can find here, as you said, MSTR, Palantir, Robinhood, TWLO, HIT. Very interesting. And again, please don't forget the S&P 500 forecast that is part of every top 20, top 10, or top 5 package. It's a very important market indicator because it's providing you insights whether you need to be in the market or not. If the S&P 500 forecast is positive, it's great time to build a portfolio, to focus on the top part of this heat map. If the S&P 500 forecast is negative, you should be more careful. You should use the bottom if you're able to short sell stocks. You should use the bottom of the heat map. We will see later how to do that. Wow, take a look at the DocuSign, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting performance. It's only in a 3-month time frame. And of course, we have seen the MSTR, the movement of the Bitcoin beyond the 100,000. And it's interesting to see that the AI algorithm was able to capture those opportunities. And also, please look at the predictability. Again, compare the predictability that you see here. For example, with the predictability that you see here, you can see that this is the 14 days time frame. You can see that the predictability is around, let's say, 0.4 on average. But if we're moving to the 1 month, where we can see higher predictability, it's around, I would say, 0.53. And if we are utilizing the 3-month forecast, we can see that we are already, we have higher level of predictability, 0.6, 0.7. And if we even utilizing the 1-year forecast, we are receiving even higher predictability. Look at General Motors, 0.85, or WSM. It's a very high predictability, or MSTR. I strongly suggest to focus on the most predictable stocks, because this is what the algorithm is trying to do on a daily basis, to focus on the most predictable assets. And therefore, I do suggest to use this predictability score when you're taking an investment decision. And of course, you can see a passive portfolio that was built basically 1 year ago, based on the mid-cap investment universe. So, see the correlation between the predictability and the actual return. It's very basically very interesting to see MSCI and UPST return and also to compare it with their predictability. Not every forecast is going to have a similar average, okay? It's important to highlight, but it's a very good example how high predictability is also have some correlation with strong returns. By the way, not everything, as you can see here, for instance, the 1 month forecast, we don't have 100% accuracy. Of course, there are you can see that it's not always the case. For instance, the Netflix forecast here, the Netflix short-term forecast was wrong. Also, the General Motors short-term forecast was wrong. So, but on average, the idea is to utilize it in a systematic way, and it's a very good tool. I don't basically, I don't know any other way to invest in the market without using AI to support my investment decisions. I can tell you that. Now, I saw some questions whether we do have an ETF coverage, whether we are providing also daily forecast for ETFs. So the answer is yes. In the very same way, we are generating daily forecast and identifying opportunities among the ETF universe. Here you can see a short-term forecast based on ETF universe. You can see the 3-month forecast. You can see the specific ETFs that the AI algorithm identified. You can find some leverage ETFs such as TQQQ and FAS, but also you can find here KCE, XSD, XLK, and it's interesting to see that the ETF portfolio managed to outperform the benchmark as well. And here you can see a 1-year portfolio that's based on our ETF package. Again, focusing on the ETFs, focusing on the most predictable ETFs, is providing very interesting returns. So again, you can see the specific ETFs that the algorithm identified 1 year ago. We can find here the technology sector. We can find here the banking sector. We can find here additional interesting ETFs. So it can also provide to you on a daily basis ETF ideas, basically. And I do suggest to utilize this interesting investment universe as well. And another important thing, the markets are not always positive, as we all know, and the algorithm is able to give you some guidance regarding that as well. The first indicator that you guys should look whenever you're using the predictive algorithm is the S&P 500 forecast. It could be positive, as we saw by the end of December 2024, but it could be also negative, as we see here. On the left side, we can see a negative S&P 500 forecast that the algorithm was generating on March 9th, 2023. And we can see that the strongest signals, the numbers that you can see here, were stronger in the bottom of this heat map, if you're comparing the bottom with the top part of this heat map. And among those assets, you can find many stocks from the banking industry. You can find here First Republic Bank, but more specifically, of course, you can find here Silicon Valley banks that basically collapsed during this period. So this is a very good tool to identify negative markets. If you can utilize those signals to show the market and to build short selling portfolio, it's possible, or you can stay out of the market during this period and wait until you have again positive S&P 500 forecast. Usually the negative movements of the markets are very short in time and very violent sometimes. On the right side, we can see another example from the first Trump period, basically. It's from the end of February 2020. We saw a negative S&P 500 forecast, and the assets with the strong, or the stocks with the strongest signal, came from the bottom of this heat map, as you can see right here. And we saw it also on December. Basically on December, when we had a call with some of the leading hedge funds that using this predictive algorithm, actually it was on December 18th, we highlighted together that the forecast, the short-term forecast was very very reddish. So this is the S&P 500 forecast. So almost all the sales in this heat map had been red. On the other hand, we saw that the volatility index, the S&P, the VIX, is positive, and the forecast for the S&P Dow Jones is negative. Most of the sectors has a negative forecast, and you can see here the market was actually dipping during this period in accordance with the forecast. Now, if we're moving to another example from last Friday, we can see the prediction that the algorithm was generating on Friday before the market opening for the XLC sector, the telecommunication sector. The algorithm highlighted Meta, Netflix, LYV, Fox, FOXA as positive opportunities in this interesting sector. We are going to talk about and to explain why this sector is interesting right now, in our opinion. And we can see again that the algorithm was managed to identify opportunities that moved against the market. We had quite a volatile market on Friday when we started to hear the news about the new Trump's tariffs. And we can see this interesting outperformance based on the XLC stock selection of the algorithm. There were other opportunities that the algorithm managed to identify on Friday, so it's almost live examples. We can see opportunities, short-term opportunities from the options package. We can see X4 that jumped by 5%. We can see opportunities from the iShort interest stock picks, REKR that jumped by almost 11%. And again, we can see the opportunities that the algorithm managed to identify for the high implied volatility stock picks. We can see several, of course, the quantum RGT, the quantum stock, KOPN, REKR, XFOR, BBAI, and of course, NKLA that has a bearish prediction. Another interesting forecast that the algorithm is generating on a daily basis is the MAG7 prediction. Here we can see again the prediction that the algorithm was generating on Friday. But take a look not only on the prediction, the positive forecast that the algorithm had for Meta, Netflix, and Google that moved against the market in accordance with the forecast. Take a look also on the NVIDIA, the negative forecast for NVIDIA. That was made another dive on Friday. So this is another package that we are offering to both our retail clients and our institutional clients. This package is also can provide you stock market intelligence regarding the direction of the market, because those stocks are very important in today's market. They have high weight in the S&P 500 index. This forecast also includes in those empty cells also daily forecast for the main indices, S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and of course the MAG7. And we added to the MAG7, to the traditional MAG7, we added also Netflix as a gift from us. TWO was very interesting, right, Mark?
Yeah, so here you see the TWLO chart, and what we can notice is on the left we see TWLO it had a bit of a downturn for about 2 months. 2 months it had a downtrend, and that's right before earnings. That's when our AI on October 31st gave this 3-month forecast. And so after the downturn, gave the 3-month forecast. TWLO was in it. And as you can see, it shot up right after earnings, after it consolidated a bit. And then boom, right at the end of the 3-month time frame, it shot up, going 107.1% in 3 months. It was a great forecast.
Right. By the way, it's not the only stock that jumped in this time frame. As we saw in this forecast, of course, TWO is the leader, but all the other names, other tickers that we see here, besides XPO, outperformed the market. ALTR is also actually was not outperforming the market, but all the others managed to outperform the market by at least 4 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is regarding TWLO, which is very interesting and quite aligned to the new AI stock environment that we see in the market right now. Another interesting opportunity from 1 month ago was Meta. Meta is a recent opportunity as we saw it in the short-term forecast, but it's actually something that the algorithm is consistently providing a positive forecast. Here we can see the S&P 500, S&P stocks forecast that the algorithm was generating 1 month ago. We can see the 10 stocks that the algorithm identified. And among the stocks, we can find, of course, Meta, we can find General Motors, we can find COF, we can find Blackstone, we can find SYF, another financial stock. And basically, we can see here how the algorithm was highlighting the financial sector along with Meta, ZBRA, DEC, and in accordance with the forecast, the algorithm managed to outperform the market by more than 3.5%. This is the place that Meta was, right, Miles, in this specific timing.
Mm-hmm. It was perfect timing where the forecast came out. And again, the forecast came right after a downturn. So the AI forecasted it while Meta was a bit cheap, came down, and then went up to all-time highs. It was a very good forecast.
So yeah, that's why we're suggesting, to utilize the long-term prediction, because sometimes the short-term forecast is aligned with the long-term forecast. Sometimes it's not the situation, but the long-term forecast and the most predictable assets are basically the assets that the algorithm is able to predict in the best way. And we want you guys to utilize the algorithm in the same way that we are utilizing the AI algorithm. We are always focusing on the most predictable assets. So you can see here that Meta and of course COF and ZBRA were among of the most predictable assets. We can see here that COF, of course, managed. There is a good correlation between the predictability and also the performance, as you can see here.
Yeah, Meta and COF both had the highest predictability.
Right, and also the highest performance during this time frame.
Yeah, so here we also have the quantum stock package. So for those of you who don't know, in early December, quantum computing stocks took they took the market by surprise. Ever since Google launched their quantum computing Willow chip. So after that, stocks like IonQ, RJTI, QUBT, QBTS, all these stocks surged. And so we've created the quantum stock package for those who want to invest in the future. And as you can see on the screen, the quantum computing market is projected to reach $125 billion by 2030. So if you guys want to get ahead and invest in the future, we've created the quantum stock package for you. And
right.
And
yeah, and in the universe, you can find some big names such as NVIDIA, right?
Yeah, you can see NVIDIA, AMD, we see RGTI, QBTS, IonQ, all these quantum computing stocks, as well as other stocks that correlate and have something to do with quantum computing. You have Synopsys, you have Microchip, Intel, ASML, LRCX. You have a bunch of other stocks that relate to quantum computing, and they're all part of this quantum stock for package.
Correct. So it's pretty cool because we are utilizing the predictive algorithm to basically to monitor this investment universe, to learn this specific investment universe, and then we are using the algorithm in order to create the ranking, the very same ranking that you have seen in the examples before, to identify the best opportunities from this specific universe. So if we sharing some recent example, we can find here the 3 days forecast that the algorithm was generating for this specific universe, basically 2 weeks ago. We can see that applied materials, Samat, was climbing to the top of this forecast along with Micron, AMD, NVIDIA, some big names and some small names, as you can see here. And this is exactly the beauty here. It's a dynamic forecast. The risk level, I need to say, the risk level in this package is higher than the other packages that we have seen. For instance, the S&P 500 package. So please take it into consideration. It's like the risk reward is higher here, but there is a risk. And
Yeah,
this is an example. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, like your own said, there's a lot of volatility in this package. And you can see on this forecast alone, there's a bunch of semiconductor stocks. And the semiconductor stocks are the ones that are building that the quantum computing is made out of. So that's why you can see they're going up a lot.
Right, right.
And here we have a live forecast. We have RGTI at the top of the forecast on the 1 month time frame. And already just on Friday alone, it was up 7%. So this is here's a nice live forecast for you guys, RGTI, 1 month.
So the guys that has subscribed to this package has received this opportunity on Friday. And in accordance with the forecast, you can see that this stock alone managed to outperform NVIDIA by 10%. You know, there was a debate between, there was some comments of NVIDIA CEO regarding the quantum computer industry in general. So we can see that in this package, there are some small stocks like RGTI. It's not small anymore, but it's interesting. And there are some big names such as NVIDIA, AMD, and more. So for those of you that would like to focus on this and believe in this industry, it's a very good tool that can help you to identify opportunities within this investment universe.
Yeah, and here we could see another forecast of RGTI right at the very kind of beginning of the quantum computing surge, and you can see RGTI #2 in the forecast. And again, you could where the blue arrow is pointing, there was a downturn. The AI said to buy it, gave a nice forecast, and ever since then, it's gone up 87%, and it's a huge gain on the just in 14 days. Just in 14 days, it went up 87%. Yeah. And here we have another forecast. This is a more recent one. And this is, again, like everyone said, this was after NVIDIA CEO made some bad comments about quantum computing and that they're not going to be anything good for the next 10 years. And so all the quantum computing stocks dropped 50% in one day. And even after that happened, our AI is still picking up positive signals and giving people positive returns. And in just 3 days, it went up 24.38%.
Right. So this is a very interesting new package. Again, the risk level is higher than the other packages that we're going to see. Another interesting package is that we have just recently launched is the BAS package. It includes daily AI-powered forecasts for the most popular stocks, the stocks that you are seeing in the media, in the social media, in the stock tweets, you name it, in Reddit. Of course, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, but you can find in this list a lot of interesting stocks. So we are utilizing the I know first AI algorithm to create a ranking for this interesting investment opportunity, this interesting investment universe, all the most popular stocks that are out there, including Palantir, including Dell, Quantum, Meta, JP Morgan, United Airlines, everything is included, all the interesting stocks that are, and the popular stocks that are out there. This is the entire investment universe, of course, MicroStrategy, Visa, DraftKings, you name it, basically every stock. We added to this interesting universe additional assets such as Bitcoin, gold, and silver. And from this stage, the algorithm is screening this customized entire universe, creating the ranking that you can see basically here as an example. Here you can see a short-term example, the algorithm identifying this period, the Bitcoin and the gold basically as an opportunity, along with other stocks, including Nvidia, AMD, and this is an example of the short-term forecast that came from this specific package, as well as a 14 days forecast. Of course, we can find here SMCI, Snowflake, SoFi, Tesla, Hood. Very interesting to see this, the opportunities that the algorithm managed to identify from this interesting investment universe. And we can see also a more recent example, recent 1 month example. I think I saw questions about the AVGO. So we can see that AVGO was part of this universe, Hood was part of this universe, Bitcoin was part of the universe. This is a 1 month forecast that was generating on 23 of December, 2024. And we can see the performance of those assets. And of course, the overall performance of this portfolio, assuming equally weighted portfolio. And we can see the interesting outperformance.
So a lot of the stocks that people put in the chat, a lot of stocks that people are talking about, you're going to find in the Buzz package. So if you guys want the forecast on your favorite stocks, you're going to find it in the Buzz package.
Sure. And, you know, if it's not appearing, if it's in the bottom or it's not among the best stocks, it's a very good indication that you should maybe avoid those stocks and wait to a better timing before entering. So in this universe, we are providing the 10 bad stocks to buy and also the 10 bad stocks to avoid or to short sell. Again, if you can short sell. Another very hot package that is super relevant after the news that came from China exactly it was affecting the market last week, but we started to read about this algorithm already 2 weeks ago. Another interesting package is the AI package. The US is investing a lot in the AI race, and we have created a very interesting package that's focusing on AI companies. So in this universe, we can find Palantir, we can find Google, we can find Netflix, we can find Shopify, DocuSign, TWLO that you mentioned, Miles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
all these AI stocks, you're gonna find the AI package. All these big CEOs, Mark Zuckerberg, Jensen Huang, they're all investing billions into AI infrastructure. They announced Project Stargate. They're gonna be investing a total of $500 billion in the next 4 years. I mean, if they're investing $500 billion in the next 4 years, that means these stocks are doing something right.
So basically, in this package, we are using AI to identify the best opportunities from the AI industry. So I do suggest to take into consideration this package, this specific package. But again, the same principles, always focus on the most predictable assets. Even if you're using this package, try to focus on the most predictable assets. In this case, you can see that it was a very good idea if you did it with Plantier. You can see the correlation. You can see the correlation also with TWLO that was generating more than 100% over this 3-month forecast. So I do suggest to focus again. I strongly suggest to focus on the most predictable assets. Now here we can see a chart, right, of Miles of Frontier.
Yeah, so here we can see the Palantir chart, and you can see on October 31st, right before Palantir soared on October 31st, our AI forecasted Palantir to be one of the top 10 for the next 3 months, and it's gone up 88.1% in just those 3 months. And it's just one of many stocks that just outperform the S&P that's forecasted beforehand by our AI algorithm.
Right.
Yep.
So another interesting announcement that we have today. Today we are pleased to launch actually a new package. We have a new president in the White House, Donald Trump, and in his first speech, he was talking about specific interesting industries. The first industry was the aerospace in defense. So we decided to build a customized package that focusing on the sectors that he was highlighting in his first speech. So of course we have the aerospace and defense stocks, all the stocks that are building the XAR sector. We have the energy stocks, all the stocks that are building the XLE sectors within this package, right? Miles, drill baby drill, right?
Yep, drill baby drill.
And it was we saw all the CEOs of the Mag 7 companies sitting in the first row within the audience. So it's part of this heat map or this package as well. We have crypto stocks, MSTR, Mara, Riot, all the crypto stocks in this universe. We have, of course, all the AI stocks that you have seen before. It's part of this universe. And of course, you have all the tech stocks that also supposed to outperform during the Trump, the second Trump period. And then we are using our algorithm to identify the best opportunities from this customized investment universe. And in the very same way, multiple time frames, short-term, mid-term, and also long-term, we are training our AI based on this customized investment universe, aerospace and defense, energy, Magnificent Seven, crypto stocks, AI stocks, and tech stocks. So all the relevant sectors are out there, right, Miles?
Yep.
Yeah, and then from this stage, the AI algorithm is creating the very same ranking that you have seen before. It's a new package that is going to be available only to the webinar attendees. And you're asking yourself how to get this package. So here we are. You can use basically the first webinar deal that we are offering today. Just use the link that I'm now sharing in the webinar chat. Use this link. You can choose the Trump package from this specific drop-down list, and then you can choose another package. For example, you can use the top S&P 500 stock picks and the Trump package, or you can combine it with any other interesting package. You can combine it with the ETF package or any other package that is seems to be interesting to you without any commitment. And also you can change the packages every month, basically. What do you think about this package, Miles?
I think the Trump package it's a very interesting package. Trump is very pro stock market. He loves talking about how in his first presidency, there was the best stock market. It was the best stock market in all the presidencies, and so all these different sectors that he's mentioned are in this package, and I think a lot of them over his 4 years, his 4-year term, they're going to outperform.
Right. So if you want to make sure that you are receiving the best opportunities that are relevant to this period, you can use this dedicated package, or if you want to make sure that you're receiving opportunities from different sectors out of the sectors that we mentioned, you can use the S&P 500 package, or you can also combine it. You can combine the S&P 500 package with the Trump stock picks. If you want to make sure that you are receiving opportunities from the AI environment or the AI sectors, you have a dedicated forecast for that as well. You have also in the dropdown, you can find also the BATS forecast, the BATS package that we have highlighted before, and also the quantum stock picks that Miles introduced before. So the 1+1 deal is a very good tool to test drive those packages. There is no commitment. You can choose any package that you want. You can change it on a monthly basis. But those packages are available only in the webinar deal. The Trump stock picks, the quantum stock picks, and also the BATS stock picks are available only in this dropdown and only in this 1+1 deal. The second interesting solution that I would like to introduce today is our special report for 2025. This special report is basically relying on our long-term prediction, the long-term forecast that the algorithm is generating. We are combining different investment universes into one report in order to make sure that you guys are receiving the best opportunities that are relevant for the long term. So we are analyzing only the long-term forecast that our algorithm is identifying, or the long-term opportunities that the algorithm is identifying from different investment universes. S&P 500, the AI stock universe, even the commodities, the currencies, the tech stocks, the leading sectors. We are utilizing the leading sectors that the algorithm is identifying that are relevant for the upcoming year. And then we're creating a drill down into this specific leading sector in order to identify the stock picks. Here we can see some examples from the report, from 2024 report. Of course, we can find here NVIDIA. You can download the report from 2024, but you can find it in the website and also download in order to understand how the report looks like. The report includes stock opportunities, leading sectors that you should focus on in the upcoming year, leading level 1 sectors, level 2 industries, leading currencies that you should focus on, leading commodities that you should focus on, even leading cryptocurrencies that are relevant for 2025. And we have small candy for you guys. We are sharing some examples that already moved in accordance with the forecast. So we can find, of course, CRWD. This leading cybersecurity company was part of the report and is part of the report. And we can see that it already moved by 16% since the beginning of the year. And the second stock that we can share today is Meta, that also made a very interesting movement of more than 17% year to date. And this is just small taste of the report. There are other opportunities that you should use. And basically, it's the product that is the closest one to our institutional solution. With institutionals, with hedge funds, with banks, with family offices, we are identifying the long-term opportunities across different sectors, across different investment universes. So we're taking the best opportunities from the S&P 500, the best opportunities from the Russell 1000, the top ETFs, the best sectors. We are drilling down to the best sectors in order to identify the best stock picks. For instance, Meta was part of the XLC. We drill down into XLC and we identify Meta as an opportunity. There are other opportunities within the XLC that are relevant. We have their aggressive stocks, we have small stocks, we have forecast for the best currencies, the best commodities, the best cryptocurrencies, you name it, basically. This report is basically available right now on a discounted price of $699 without any commitment, one-time report that can help you to identify the best opportunities, the long-term opportunities for the upcoming year. So if you're building a portfolio, long-term portfolio for the entire year, it's a very good solution that can assist you with that. I shared the link to this report in the chat. What do you think about this report, Miles?
Yeah, I think it's a great report. I mean, where it's only been 1 month of 2025, and we can see through all these different examples that we've given how much can happen in just a short period of time. And again, we're only 1 month into 2025. There's still 11 months to go. So I think it's a great buy.
Yeah, it's a great buy, and it's a great buy for those of you that are looking for a long-term solution, long-term portfolio, and there are additional opportunities that are there. We shared only 2 opportunities, but there are additional ones, additional ETFs, additional stocks that are part of this report. And if you would like basically to combine this report with the packages, there is also a deal for you guys. You can take the 1+1 deal, and to combine it, just use the annual deal that we are offering. Again, it's available in the chat right now. So you can choose the Trump package, the Quantum package, the Best package, the top 10, the S&P 500, you name it, any specific combination that you would like to receive. If you're subscribing to a 12-month subscription, you are receiving the 2020 report free of charge. Instead of $699, you don't need to pay additional dime. So basically, you're receiving 3 advanced solutions, and every month there is no commitment. Every month you basically can switch the 2 packages selection to any other solution. So if you see rotation in the market, you can switch from the packages that you have already to tech stock picks, or you can focus on other package, or you can get a general package like the top 10 or the S&P 500 stock picks. Or if you see that the market is pointing toward, or the AI algorithm is pointing towards small stocks, You can take the under $10 stock picks, or to focus on dividend stocks or ETFs. It's a dynamic solution. You can change it on a monthly basis. You can customize your two packages. And of course, you are receiving the special report for 2025 as a tool that can assist you again to build a long-term portfolio with the best opportunities. I really like this combination and this deal. And I see a lot of you that are asking which packages they should choose in the 1+1. So here we can share with you our choices. I'm choosing the telecommunication stock picks, the XLC stock picks, and also the Trump package, because I do believe that this combination is very interesting in this market regime. As an option 2, I really like the AI universe, the AI stock picks. I would like to make sure that I'm receiving opportunities from the AI sector right now, as I see that the market is, there is a race between US, China, and the investment that we see in the AI industry. And on top of that, I would like to combine it with the top 10 stock picks, since I see that interesting opportunities in this package. And also, of course, I would like to receive the S&P 500 prediction on a daily basis. What about you, Miles? What is your selection?
Yeah, so my top choices are the Buzz package and the AI stock picks package. And so the Buzz package, those were all my favorite stocks are. You got Palantir, Nvidia, AMD. You have all those trending stocks. And I'm young. I like the volatility. So that's one of my favorite packages. And the AI package, like I mentioned earlier, AI is taking over not only the stock market but the world. So I want to stay ahead. And I want to find out which are the best AI opportunities out there.
Yes, and Ben is not feeling well today, but it was important for him to send this selection. In the upcoming months, Ben would like to focus on ETFs, on the ETFs package on one end, and also on the S&P 500 stocks. It's a very good strategy, basically, to combine S&P 500 stocks with ETFs. We shared few opportunities and few predictions from the S&P 500 package during this webinar. So, and also recent ETF forecast. So it might be a very good suggestion as well. In terms of the risk level, I think Ben's choice has, in a way, low to medium risk. Miles' selection is includes a bit higher risk, specifically the BAS forecast. And in general, I really love the XLC sector right now. We will see later why I made this choice, basically. So all those options are part of the dropdown in the links that we have shared in the chat. So feel free to utilize it. Feel free to utilize those three deals. And of course, by the end of this webinar, we are going to share some interesting live forecasts that you can use also, and that can support your package selection as well. I would like to talk also in the next slides. I would like to talk about the second product that we are offering specifically to institutionals. So basically, we are utilizing the daily forecast that we have seen, and we are creating a systematic trading strategy out of those forecasts. The first strategy is focusing on level 1, on the level 1 GICS, and on the 11 sectors in the US market: energy, materials, industry, So basically, we are relying on ETFs only. We do have strategies that combining equities and ETFs. For example, the combined strategy, we have long only sectorial strategies. We have strategies that focusing only on the SPY, longing and shorting the SPY only, the market. We have take profit strategy, very interesting strategy that we have developed for some of the leading hedge funds. And we have low risk strategy that focusing on the risk of the entire portfolio. So this is another solution. The first strategy that I would like to talk today is taking the entire S&P 500 universe, utilizing the indicators that we have seen to build a portfolio of S&P 500 stocks. This strategy is being sold for some of the leading investment houses in Israel that's planning to offer it to institutional clients. So every month, the AI algorithm is building a portfolio, and the rebalancing is happening every month, every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, the algorithm is adjusting the weight within the portfolio and choosing also the best tickers for the upcoming month. And we can see here the performance of this strategy. It's almost 5 years performance of this strategy from 2020 until today. We can see the performance, we can see the risk, and it's a long only strategy, no short. Another interesting strategy is strategy that basically choosing and picking the best sectors out of the 11 sectors in the market on a monthly basis. Again, the rebalancing is done every 4 weeks. We can see the total return, and we can see the performance of this, the outperformance of this strategy. So every month, the algorithm is picking the best 3 sectors within the market, and we can see again the performance, not only in a good year such as 2020 or 2021, but for me, the most interesting performance or outperformance is in 2022, while the market was dropping by almost 20%. The algorithm managed to identify the best sectors that didn't drop with the market. And of course, 2023 and 2024 results is also very interesting. Please.
Something on that one. So we mentioned how we picked the best 3 sectors, but specifically the algorithm, we picked the 3 sectors with the highest predictability. And just to show you guys, this is what happens when you go for the sectors or equities with the highest predictability.
Correct. And this is, by the way, a live example of the 3 sectors that the algorithm picked for the month of October. We can find here the industrial sector. We can find here the XLC and XLY. And the total return of this portfolio was more than 2 times higher than the benchmark, the S&P. Here we can see, for instance, the specific sectors that the algorithm picked on every specific month since 2020. So this strategy is being used by leading institutional. And right now we are working on develop AI power investment product that's going to utilize this specific strategy. If we have institutionals in the crowd today that would like to talk with us about building a product and to launching a product, or to use one of those strategies in order to manage their own funds, feel free to contact us, and we will be happy to customize the systematic trading strategy that is relevant for you guys. On top of that, it's possible, I saw some questions about cryptocurrencies and about commodities. So the answer is yes, it's definitely possible to utilize the predictive algorithm in order to identify opportunities within the cryptocurrencies investment universe. The algorithm is basically generating daily forecasts for over 200 different cryptocurrencies. Of course, the cryptocurrencies is the large market cap, but also some of the small ones. Here we can see some examples from the beginning of the year. We can find the 1 month forecast, the cryptocurrencies that the algorithm identified as an opportunity for this month. Of course, we can find here the Bitcoin against the US dollar, against the euro. We can find here XLM, we can find here Link, and also we can find here the long-term forecast that the algorithm was generating back on October 30th, and we can see the 10 cryptocurrencies that the AI algorithm identified. Of course, you can find here Dodge among the 10 stocks, and it's interesting because Mike, do you remember when was the US election? When we started to hear the results?
Yeah, so around like November 6th, November 5th, November 6th, that's when the results came out. And this was before the results came out. First they were saying Trump was gonna win, then right before the election actually happened, it was like even, it was 50-50. And so on October 30th, a week before, we had this 3-month forecast. And as you can see, all these cryptos surged, XLM over 300%, Link over 100%. Yeah.
So, it's an interesting investment universe because there are no, fundamental analysis of this. There is no earnings report of this universe. And this is one of the only tools that can assist you to utilize AI in order to identify opportunities within this universe. Of course, the risk level here is higher. So you should not have exposure more than 1%, 2% of your entire portfolio to this universe. But if you would like to have a diversified portfolio, it could be an interesting solution. But the same principle, again, always focus on the most predictable assets. Always make sure that you're using the different indicators, filter out the cryptocurrencies that are less predictable. And it's also possible to utilize the AI algorithm to receive daily forecasts for all the world indices, all the indices that are out there from all over the world in order to identify leading regions. It's possible to use it for fixed income interest rate forecast. It's possible to use the AI algorithm for commodities forecast. Here you can see an example of a 1 month forecast from the end of 2024. It's interesting to see the coffee, the natural gas here, along with several other commodities that is part of this universe. Commodities is going to be, if you're trading commodities, it's a very good tool that can assist you to identify opportunities. Same goes with currencies. The algorithm is generating daily forecasts for all the majors and the exotic currency pairs that are out there. So here we can see an example of a short-term forecast. But the principles are the same. Focus on the most predictable assets as well. Europe markets become really interesting. I see some people here from Europe. In the recent months, the European markets became really, really interesting. We can see here an example of two forecasts, short-term forecasts from the Euronext investment universe. We can see the stocks that the algorithm identified for the short term, and we can see also the 1 month forecast from the European market, the European stock picks that the algorithm identified. And of course, we can see the outperformance versus the Euronext 100 over the very same time frame. Canada, we do generate daily forecasts for stock picks from Toronto Exchange, London Stock Exchange, the Japanese market, Italy, Australia, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Shenzhen market in China, India. And within India, we have a very interesting collaboration with Shunya, the Indian Robinhood, that integrated our solution within their platform. So basically, more than 100,000 Indian clients are receiving daily forecasts that our AI predictive algorithm is generating on a daily basis for more than 1,500 Indian stocks. In the previous webinar, we shared, now we're coming to almost to the main dish of this webinar, the most updated forecast that our algorithm is generating for the upcoming months. But before that, we would like to highlight the level 1 forecast that our algorithm was generating last month. We can see the 3 sectors that our algorithm was highlighting. We can find here, of course, XLK that was actually dropping on this period. However, we can find also XLY, the consumer discretionary. We can find here XLC, the telecommunication that was outperforming the market tremendously over this time frame. And now we're going to share some insights regarding the upcoming month. So the first thing that I would like to highlight now, we can see that XLC, the telecommunication, is still very, very interesting for the upcoming months. Besides that, we can see the XLV. Please note that the XLV predictability is lower, so take it into account. We can find here XLY, the consumer discretionary. You can find here the finance stocks. On the bottom, we can find the energy stocks. And from the level 2, there is also interesting insights. We can find here XAH, XSD, XHE, KRE, and KB Finance also is appearing here. We do suggest to utilize also, if you're considering to invest in one of those sectors, we do suggest to double check those predictions with the long-term forecast that our algorithm is generating on a daily basis in order to make sure that there is no contradiction. If there is a contradiction, we're usually suggesting to avoid this specific asset. In the indices forecast, there are also very interesting insights that we can get. First, we do see Europe. Europe is positive for the upcoming months. We can see the DAX, we can see the European banking sector. We have several indicators that pointing toward Europe. We do see the banking sector within the US as interesting, as well as the networking sector. The S&P 500 forecast is positive as well. However, we do suggest to avoid oil services, OSX. We do suggest to avoid exposure to India. AGX, home builders, is less interesting, I believe, right now. Same goes with Russell 2000 and Russell 1000. So this is just a snapshot of the forecast right now. It might be updated, of course, tomorrow. We're going to have a very interesting day. But the good news is that there are some good sectors for the upcoming month. There are some sectors to avoid, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it might be a short-term. We might see some short-term reaction to the new tariffs, but for the long term, we do see some sectors that actually became even more interesting despite the new situation. So there are some opportunities that we do see there, and we do suggest to utilize the 3 webinar deals in order to make sure that you guys are capturing those opportunities. And before answering to all the questions, let's go over the different deals that we have again, and then we'll start to answer some questions we see on the Q&A.
Yeah, so we have we have the webinar sell 1+1 for $299. Again, choose whatever package you want. They're limited packages that are only for this sale. You can find the Buzz package. All your favorite packages are going to be here. And yeah.
Right. So this is the 1+1. The first deal. You can choose any two packages that appearing in the Dropbox. Again, I see people that asking where they can find those deals. Those deals are available. They are not available in the website. They are only available for the webinar attendees. So you can find it right now on the webinar chat. So this is the first deal. The second deal is the special report, the special one-time report with all the opportunities for the upcoming year. So you're getting like a very nice document that's going sector after sector and highlighting the best opportunities from this sector. And I can tell you that every year we are receiving emails. Hi guys, when are you releasing the most updated report? Because I want to buy it again. It's one of the most popular products that we do have, and there is a good reason for that. It's providing you insights that after 1 year can actually help you to build a very good long-term portfolio. So you can find again this the link to this deal in the chat as well. And the third deal includes the 1+1 buy one get one packages. You can buy any combination. You can choose the Trump package. You can choose the Buzz package. You can choose the quantum stock picks, the top 10 stock picks, the ETF package, and you are receiving the report, the 2025 special report for free. So, and of course, every month you can change your selection. You can focus on specific industries, on specific packages, sectors that seems to be interesting to you. Of course, we can assist you on a monthly basis to focus on the best, to make sure that you're focusing on the best sectors and the best stocks if there is a rotation in the market. Okay, let's start. Okay, there is a question regarding the Trump package. People are asking us to talk again about the Trump package. Miles?
Yes, so about the Trump package, Trump is he's very high. He loves the stock market. He loves claiming that he has the best stock market during his presidency. And so because of that, we are expecting a stock market to go up. And so we've created a package where we have all the different sectors and industries that he's mentioned in his inauguration speech. So you have the XAR, the aerospace and defense, XLE, energy stocks. You have the Mag 7, you have crypto stocks. He loves crypto. You have the AI, artificial intelligence stocks, and you have the XOK, you have the tech stocks. So these are the sectors that make up the Trump package. And so we are going to give you the best predictability, and we're going to give you the best stocks out of all these packages combined. So you're going to find a mix of everything in this package.
Great. And of course, as we mentioned, there is also additional new packages that we do suggest to pay very good attention in the upcoming one. The first one is the AI package. That is super interesting after the huge investment that we see in the AI industry lately, and the expected race with China, US versus China here. The BAS forecast is also a very interesting one. It includes daily focus for the most popular stocks that are out there, including NVIDIA, Tesla, you name it, all the stocks that you see basically here, all the most popular stocks, including, and we added to those choices or to those stocks also Bitcoin, gold, and silver. And the third unique package is the quantum stock picks. The very same example that you see here. We built a universe that includes quantum stocks, some small names, some big names, and then we are using our AI to identify the best opportunities from this specific universe. And we shared some recent examples based on this universe. For instance, this is the forecast, the 1 month forecast that the algorithm was generating on Friday. Again, the risk level is higher here. Take it into consideration, please. So we went over those unique products as requested. Okay, let's see if there are additional interesting. Does the algorithm take into consideration the news? Well, it's a very good question. We are relying on quantity data that coming all the time from the financial market that basically reflect the news. The market is never wrong. We are tracking different interest rate indicators, thousands basically of data sets that are coming from different asset classes, not only equities, but also interest rates, commodities, currencies, and all the news are being reflected in the database, the data sets that we are monitoring. There are questions regarding profit target, all the risk management side, the profit target, and also the stop loss is being done on the user side. It's based on each client risk appetite. So please take it in consideration. There is a question about the leading sectors for the upcoming year. I think we gave some insights about that. What is the predictability level that that we are recommending? It's a very good question. The predictability, the value is basically, we do suggest to use the long-term forecast and to use the relative longer, higher, let's say, predictability that you find there. The higher, the better. So please use it, and you should consider that when you take in an investment decision. There is a question, what is the returns that we see here? So the returns that we do see is assuming that you have invested, that you have built equally weighted portfolio based on this focus, based on basically on this specific timing, and you use the time frame that you see here, and you kept all the stocks for the entire time frame. So if you bought Shopify on October 31, and you kept it until January 31, and you used the closing for both, this is the result that you have received, and this is the result of the average performance of the entire portfolio. Those are the returns that you see here. Okay, we spoke about the GICS. We spoke about the timeframes that we're suggesting, mainly 1 month, 3 months, and 1 year. Even if you're trading, if you're choosing stocks for the short term, always double check the forecast with the long term timeframes. And might any other interesting questions that you see that you would like to address?
I think we answered a lot of
Yeah,
them.
We saw a very good question. And guys, I hope it was interesting for you. Miles, I would like to thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
Of course, you know, LeBron also was a rookie once. So maybe you are the next LeBron.
Who knows, maybe.
Thank you very much. Very good insights. And if you would like to to make sure that you are receiving all the opportunities, I do suggest, of course, to subscribe, and also I do suggest to join to our interesting WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group, we're going to share some interesting forecasts after the webinar. We are going to share the Mag 7 forecast, right?
Yeah, tonight we're gonna
Right?
send out the Mag 7
Okay.
forecast.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't wanna miss it. Scan the QR code to join the WhatsApp group, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And yeah, Ice is managing our YouTube channel, so I'm suggesting to join to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell in order to make sure that you're receiving all the updates from us, and of course the WhatsApp group that you can just use your phone to scan the QR code and join the QR code to our WhatsApp group. Yeah, I think we are good, right? What do you think?
Yep, I think that's it.
I think that's it. So guys, thank you very much for the great questions, and thank you for the trust. And I'm inviting all of you to test drive the product and to identify opportunities in the market by using artificial intelligence on a daily basis. Thank you very much. Happy investing, and see you next time.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Miles.